Hi Gavin, I hope your concert went well. Missed you in the studio tonight. I just wanted to record a short video for you to help you jumpstart your practice before next week's lesson. So the recital is over, and while I feel that we did a great job on the Bach Double, there's always room for improvement. So I want you to consider the Bach Double a review piece now. Yes, we've passed it, but as is so common with the Suzuki method, we can always keep reviewing and getting better. And so I'm just choosing to focus on one spot every week or so. And the first spot I want to focus on will be on page 27. And we're looking at pickups to measure 38. So the three pickups in question are D, C, B natural, leading into 38. That part. So that's where you will start, and you'll play from there all the way until the E in 41. So let's just start by looking at the fingerings. I noticed something odd happened. I think it probably was due in part to watching that video on YouTube of the Asian gentleman playing the slow practice video of the Bach Double. He probably did a different fingering than what we had in our part. So you ended up playing this section in first position exclusively, but really in measure 40, we want to shift into third position and then come back down. So that's what I want you to fix. Let me play it through really, really slow so you can see the fingering change that I'm suggesting. So hopefully you caught that. If you didn't, rewind and watch again. Then, once you feel comfortable with that fingering, actually let me back up. I want you to play those measures through 10 times very slowly, about the pace that I just played them. No metronome, but slow as a turtle, 10 times through, perfectly in a row. If you make one mistake, go back and start your rep count over at 0. So that's pickups to 38 through 41, 10 perfect reps in a row at an obnoxiously slow tempo. After that, turn your metronome on, quarter note equals 40 with an 8th note subdivision, and start climbing up the ladder by 2s until you get to 80 with an 8th note subdivision. All right? Now, there might come a point where you think, oh, I could just play it at 80. I've done so many reps in practice that I'm good to go. Well, hang in there. I want you to keep practicing because there's always something more that you can learn. Maybe you can play it lower in the bow. Maybe you can get the bow stroke right. We talked about making the 8ths a little bit more, not staccato, but with some separation in between. There's always more to focus on. So don't get kind of locked into this, I'm just working on fingering. Well, if the fingering is solid, then find a different focus point, okay? The next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna go to Gavotte in book 5, yay! And first you wanna listen to it, okay? The recording on the Suzuki CD, it's very, very fast. And I clocked it out about quarter note equals 140, which is actually not an allegro moderato tempo. It is more of a presto tempo. So if we're trying to be true to what the book says, allegro moderato, we're gonna be more around 110, okay? So a quarter note equals 1/10 is your marking. Now, for a first playthrough through this, you are going to do no double stops, no chords, no grace notes. Totally bare bones. I don't want you muddying the waters with those, because here's why. The double stops add harmony. I want you to emphasize the melodic line, which would be the top notes, not the bottom double stops. So no double stops so that we can clearly hear the melody, and also work a little bit more on our bow distribution. Okay? So I'm gonna start out at a slow tempo, 60. Here we go. I have to use my computer metronome, so hopefully you can hear this. And here's my slow playthrough of it for you. You can feel free to use this instead of our YouTube friend. Okay. Starts on beat 3, because the first measure is just a partial measure. 1, 2. Okay, so I tried to avoid playing all the grace notes, but one snuck in there, so sorry about that. Please don't play that grace note. And then you'll notice on the second page how I played those repeated up bows. I think when we play it faster, the technique might be different, but because it's up, 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 and it's so fast, and I want the sound to be kind of, or it's up, 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 and it's so slow. The tempo is slow, and I need those notes to be off the string, so I'm kind of forced to do a retake each time. Just keep in mind that may or may not happen when we speed it up. It might be more like, okay? So we'll actually be traveling with the bow and not retaking. So basically I want you to get the notes down, and then I also want you to study how I use my bow throughout. I will warn you that there's a big pitfall, measures 10 through 12. So what I always say when we have, you know, 3 notes in one bow and 1 note in the next, I'm talking about 3 notes slurred versus 1 note separate, you want to balance the scales. So slow bow on the long slur, slightly faster bow on the single note, so that we don't end up running out of bow. So measure 10 here. Slightly faster bow on those 3 up bows. And then we have measure 11. This should be all lower half. And then those next 4 notes, brush stroke. And then measure 12. Similar to how I played measure 11. Okay. Fingerings I used, I think, were exactly what the book says. So have fun with that song. Happy practicing, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye.